Hi everybody, it's Simon here from Trade with Precision, discussing some of my key markets of interest this week. Before we take a look at some new markets, let's just do a quick review of the markets that I spoke about last month. The first one here being gold. Now, I was looking at safe havens last month. I was looking for gold to strengthen. I was also looking for money to flow into the yen as well. And the level that I was looking at here on gold was around this sort of 1255. If I open this up, we can see this 1255 area. It's been an area of significant support and resistance in the past, and I was looking for the market to break through here. I was looking for a move up towards 1,300 to start with, and then looking for a continuation long. Now, what we can see has happened is the market moved up. It's just shy. The peak was just shy of 1,300, and now it's sort of more pulled back into this level. So quite a significant level. It's been support and resistance for a long time if I zoom out of this. So the market's really come back to a key decision point here. We're just in the context of trends, we expect to see higher highs, higher lows. We've had a higher high. Could we have a higher low at this point? Certainly a good area for a higher low if the market's going to make one. Now, the same story here really on the bigger picture when we come and look at the weekly. Still in an uptrend. We've just had a high. Now we just pulled back into potentially, maybe we make a higher low here. We've certainly got nice convergence on the indicators too as well. So I'll be looking for the continuation of gold. If we find support here and the market continues to move up, then I think we could be looking at 1,300 and beyond here in gold. The other market that I was looking at was dollar yen. If we come and have a look at this on dollar yen, I was looking at this sort of level here around 111,500. I was looking for 111,500 to get broken, and I was looking for a sort of move down initially to 110. Now we've had a move down to 108 over the past sort of few weeks, and now the market has retraced back into this sort of area around 111,500. So we've already had sort of quite a significant move to the short side. Now we've had quite a significant move long, and this is just the US dollar strengthening here. Taking a look at this on the weekly chart is still looking in a structure here of a downtrend. We've got lower highs, lower lows. So again, looking at this point in time, if the market sort of finds support here and we start to get weakness back in dollar yen, then I'll start to be looking for continuation of this downtrend towards 108 and beyond. But I need to see the weakness starting to come around this area. So I think gold and dollar yen looking rather interesting around some potential turning points at this moment in time. Now, the other markets I want to take a look at this week is the Canadian markets. Now, Canadian dollar and also oil. Now, oil, I'm taking a look at oil here. If we come and have a look at this, the reason I'm talking about Canadian dollar and oil is that both are highly correlated, or the Canadian dollar is highly correlated in the price with the price of oil. Oil as a market is not in the best trend structure. It's very messy. If I have a look at this on the daily chart, we can see on the daily chart that it's been sort of very sideways for quite a period of time. It's certainly been a market that's been trading between levels, and at this moment it's looking more weak than strong. Now, if we look at the sort of fundamentals, we know that there is a history here of OPEC attempting to tighten production and reduce production to support higher prices. But whatever they seem to be doing doesn't seem to be sort of working. It doesn't seem to be following through into sustainable higher prices for the oil market. We've certainly seen their continued efforts to restrict production, but then on the same time we've had Libya coming out with higher production levels than they've ever had before and continuing to support higher production going forward, and the same with the US as well. So they're having increasing production levels, and at the same time we've had a reduction in the demand of oil from big organizations, big countries that want it, such as China, for example, and of course gasoline requirements are lower at the moment as well. So with that all in tow, it's probably sort of having a bit of an effect here on oil, which is why the market's sort of pulling back. So I wanted to take a look at oil to start with before I start to look at some of the potential markets here that I like with the Canadian dollar. If we come and have a look at DollarCAD, which is one of my favorites, let's have a look at this on the weekly. The reason I like this is because from a broader perspective, a macro perspective here, the market has been trading around a couple of levels here, around 132 and 134. Now the market's broken out of that decisively, and this has been stuck in this range here for, well, certainly for almost a sort of a year and a half, something like this. So we've now got a decisive break, and the market's making new highs. So we're up to 137 at the moment. We've got good convergence on the indicators, moving averages looking in the right order, and even when we start to come down the time frames and start to have a look on this on the technical perspective, we can see here on, we've just got some very strong price here in market, so very strong price in markets against the Canadian dollar. Let's just sort of get that straight. So what we're seeing here is Canadian dollar weakness coming through. So dollar strength, Canadian dollar weakness, looking nice here. What I like here for opportunities, the sort of opportunities I want to get positioned in here, are going to be on the more of the intraday time frame. So like on the 4-hour time frame, the 8-hour time frame, be looking for opportunities when the market sort of pulls back into the averages, and looking for positions to be able to trade the market to the long side. If we come and take a look at one of the other ones. Now, one of the other ones that I like, a lot of the Canadian dollar markets are very similar. So the Canadian dollar is very weak across a lot of its trading partners, but I like EURCAD. So looking at the euro again from a fundamental perspective, the euro is very strong at the moment, certainly into going to be strong into the weekend, or could be strong into the weekend. We're halfway through the French elections. We've got the second round of French elections this weekend, and at this moment in time, Emmanuel Macron is doing extremely well in the polls, and if the polls are anything to be believed, it's looking like he's well in front. Emmanuel Macron is pro-European, and this is very supportive of the euro. So this is why the euro is having a boost here. So I like the EURCAD because it's got the fundamentals on the side here of the market, with euro strength and Canadian dollar weakness at this moment in time as well. So same story here with these markets, very strong, higher time frames looking extremely strong here. Looking at the more of the intraday time frames, like here on the 4-hour, we can see that we've got good trend structure, moving average geometry as well. So looking for pullbacks and just waiting for those pullbacks into the moving average zone for positions. So there's a few markets that I'm keeping a close eye on at the moment. Certainly hope if you find it useful, and I look forward to speaking to you next time. Bye for now.